What's up, everyone, and welcome to Girl You Know What podcast, season 5, episode 9. I am Danielle.
And I'm Keisha.
Let's see. So, your cousins really
Hey.
didn't say hey. So, your cousins didn't really seem to be acting up that much this week. Now, there's some stuff that went on, of course. I mean, we're where we're at, but it didn't seem to be really that bad. I mean, we got some shit to talk about now, but
Absolutely. And I think we should start with what I feel like is the most prevalent piece of information.
Okay, go ahead.
We need to talk about Quiet on the Set
Yeah. Yes.
because it's going to take a few moments.
Yeah. Girl, I think like this needs to have a dedicated true crime podcast to it. This is true crime shit right here. So, but we're going to go ahead and get into it. So go ahead. You lead us off, sis.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I like to get people to look at this in a broader perspective. So first of all, Quiet on the Set is a documentary of two-part. It was 2 hours. When they first showed it, it was 2 parts. Now that they're re-showing it, they've broken it up into 4 parts.
Right. Yeah, I was confused when I saw it on the guide again. I said, wait a minute. I said, did I miss something? Then I saw that they just broke it up.
No, it was 2 hours. It was from 9 to 11
Right.
the first 2 days that they showed it. But now they're replaying it and they're just in 1 hour increments. So Quiet on the Set is a documentary on the ID channel about Nickelodeon. Specifically about Dan Schneider's time at Nickelodeon. Dan Schneider was I would say producer, executive producer, show creator at Nickelodeon for quite a few years for what would be considered, that's millennial years, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of like their TV.
Yeah, and for us Gen X people,
Because
Dan
we
Schneider.
were more of, you can't do that on television.
Yeah, we were more that.
That was our show.
Yeah, but
Double Dare.
Yeah, people older, like our age and older, may remember Dan Schneider from the television show Head of the Class. He played Dennis on there. Yeah, he was the chunky guy, chunky funny guy.
Yes. Okay.
Computer geek. That's who he was.
As far as like him being involved in Nickelodeon, he was not involved in the TV shows that we necessarily watched.
Exactly. Yeah, he was more.
Kind of watched all that, but we were a little older.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, we were more into Mad TV and Saturday Night Live. So yeah, but you watched.
We were more. And I know people don't remember You Can't Do That on television.
Girl.
That was like the 80s.
Yeah.
That was the original show when people got slime. And that's how Nickelodeon became known for slime.
Right.
Because they used to slime you on that TV show.
Right.
And on Double Dare. So he was Drake and Josh, The Amanda Show. What else was it? All That. So those were his like staple shows, and there were some others too.
Right, but those were like the big ones that
those
he
were
really
the big money makers for him and Nickelodeon. So the documentary was basically focusing on the fact that there were some instances of child sexual abuse on the show, and not on the show, but during the run of those shows, there were some people who worked behind the scenes who were predators, basically. Now, here's where I saw a lot of people's comments getting kind of, okay, let's stay focused on the big picture. Dan Schneider was not involved in any predatory activity against children. And I think we need to separate that because I saw people saying that and I'm like, well, did you watch the documentary? Like, that's what I be wanting to say. When I saw people putting those kind of,
well, there are other things, like I've listened to podcasts and stuff like that where they did talk about like his inappropriate relationship
I
with
want to say that.
Yeah.
Now, he was inappropriate with women. Yes, he was.
And they did question his relationship with Amanda Bynes and a couple other and a couple other teenage girls that were involved.
He had women massaging him, that he was inappropriate. You had to come and massage him when he, called you.
Right.
That he was sexist. That he was not paying women the same that he was paying men.
He didn't think women could be funny.
So he definitely was inappropriate in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But the focus were the three gentlemen who were on set and
Right.
behind the scenes working with the children who were found guilty or, of assault against children.
Right.
I want you guys to watch it. I don't want to say like every single thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the part that mostly disturbed me. So one more thing before I give my opinion. I also want us to keep in mind we're talking about the 90s.
Right.
The early 90s, like early to mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
We have to remember that don't think about the world and where we are today. There were not the same safeguards that they have now as far as like checking people's background. Like the world didn't operate the way that it does now.
Right.
People assaulting children, um, and being like, I don't want to say known for it, or it being like brought to the forefront was not necessarily a thing back then.
Mm-hmm.
And we know as it goes, white people don't see each other as the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So they would not have looked at those white men as, the boogeyman, basically.
Right.
They wouldn't have thought twice that he would have done that or that they would have done that to children.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a little sick to my stomach.
Girl.
Um, because like I said, we're thinking about it from where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to his name was Josh, right?
Yeah.
Listening to Josh's dad tell how was his name Brian? Did I make that up?
I can't remember his name, but
Listening to not his dad, but the guy who assaulted him.
the one who assaulted. I think Brian was one of them. Yeah.
Listening to his dad explain the way that he kind of pushed the dad out
Mm-hmm.
and convinced Josh that you don't need your dad. I can do it made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
It disgusted me because if people with children, if you don't do anything else, and I don't want people to walk around fearful, but you've got to pay attention to how people are grooming your children.
Mm-hmm.
Make yourself familiar with the behaviors of predators.
And in saying that, there were parents who knew what was going on or who had inklings, had a feeling of what was going on behind the scenes with their children, but some of them were afraid to speak up because they didn't want to mess up their kids' careers.
Exactly.
So that's a whole nother issue.
And let's say this. They didn't know for a fact that their children were being assaulted.
Right. Yeah,
They were just what they were upset was like some of the sketches,
Mm-hmm.
some of the material.
It was very adult based.
It was said that like Dan Schneider had a foot fetish,
Mm-hmm.
and that they would do like inappropriate scenes with feet. They would squirt things on girls' faces and on their mouths, and like that just seemed very adult and inappropriate for a 13-year-old or 12-year-old to perform certain scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So the parents were afraid to speak up about stuff like that.
Yeah.
They didn't actually feel like their kids were being assaulted. They were just afraid to say like, this seems a little racy for a 12-year-old.
Right.
But again, they thought like, well, this is my kid's dream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the mom that messes up my kid's chance.
Right. And they're so young, they could have a long career ahead of them, even though we know how most of that turns out. But, still at that point, you're thinking like you don't want to mess anything up for them.
And another thing that really, like I said, because I really want people to go back and watch it. But another thing that really was like, ooh, when they showed how many now celebrities, people who are actually celebrities to this day,
Mm-hmm.
wrote letters of support for him.
Mm-hmm.
Child, you could have knocked me over with a feather.
Listen, I mean, it's
I was sick.
crazy.
That is what
Yeah.
made me sick. I was
hmm
just, oh,
And I mean, and that's why, like, I mean, in more recent news, you see like some of these, like, what the heck's his name? Ashton Kutcher and his wife. What's his wife's name? Mila Kunis, and
yeah.
like a couple other people who wrote letters in support of Danny Masterson, who the crazy things that he did and he's accused of and he's rotting in jail for right now. It's people were doing
Oh,
that.
from that 70s show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's just like when you see this, just shows you that they will stand by each other. It's like a cult. You know what I mean? Like,
I heard
it's
a woman
crazy.
say this, and this is what people need to understand.
Yeah.
She said it was three of them, and they were on a podcast. And it was one guy, and it was two women. She said, you don't really know your friends, talking to the guy.
Right.
You don't really know your homeboy. His true nature doesn't come out until he is alone with a woman.
Yeah.
Because that's who he really is.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all writing statements of support for people who you don't even actually know.
Right. You just going by what you see and what you think this person represents.
Because you don't know the them that they really are when you are not there.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they really are. When they are alone with whatever they're attracted to.
Right.
That's when the true them comes out, the true nature of who they are. So you can write these statements of support, but listen to all the terrible things he did to that boy.
Mm-hmm.
It was sickening.
Yeah.
And I thank God for his girlfriend's mother having the presence of mind that immediately she recognized it.
Mm-hmm.
She recognized it right away. Him calling his cell phone over and over again, mad because he doesn't want to hang out with you. Then to the point that you start calling this woman's house.
I mean, what the hell?
And she said, come here. What's going on?
Yeah.
Immediately she recognized something wasn't right.
It just takes one person, and she was that person, and she was a mama was like, this ain't right. And a lot of people know when it's not right.
She called his mother and said, we're going to take him to therapy. Like, he's going to a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
Because something's going on.
Yep.
I'm telling you, y'all got to watch
Yeah,
this.
you got to watch that. It definitely. And see, that's the thing. Like a lot of these documentaries, they will piss you off. That like that have these kind of deep, dark topics, but you need to really watch them. As much as you may not want to, you need to watch them because this can open up your eyes, especially if you have children.
Yeah.
I mean, we hear about things that go on. Your kid doesn't have to be famous. Your kid doesn't have to be in show business. They could be an athlete. They could be, you hear about these things. But you
Stop thinking as a parent, well, I should be able to leave my kid. No, the fuck you shouldn't.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Whoever telling you that is lying to you.
Yeah.
No, you should not be comfortable or feel like, oh, I can leave my kid with his uncle or think. No, the fuck you can't.
Nope.
Stop believing that lie. Because see, a day is going to come when we are going to have to start asking, where are the parents?
Yeah.
Because throughout that whole R. Kelly shit, that's all I kept thinking.
Where are the parents? And then during the documentary, we found that most of the parents are right there pushing their daughters to R. Kelly.
Oh my God.
So it's the same thing. It's just like, I don't know.
And at some point, everybody needs to be held accountable.
Yeah, I agree.
At some point, we can't just keep, which we do need to now. I'm never giving predators a pass.
Right.
But as a parent, what is your responsibility in this?
Mm-hmm.
Your brain thought it was okay to leave your 13-year-old with a 30-year-old man for days, for weeks,
just because they want to be a star.
Oh my gosh!
It's
I just don't
sad.
know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's really sad.
It's crazy.
Whew, child. But yeah,
But
y'all
that
gotta
that
watch
was a
that.
lot. But
Yeah.
the ending, how they showed everybody who was like, oh, he is a good person. They was reading some of the excerpts from the letter.
Child.
Oh,
Yeah,
child.
that really. I mean, if nothing else pissed you off, that
Baby,
would.
that wiped me out.
Yeah, I was just sitting there with my mouth open, like, really?
I
Like,
was
this is
just
how we're
like,
ending it?
oh my God.
But I'm kind of glad they ended it that way so you could see the ridiculousness that goes on. How
But
people really think.
y'all, for real, after I watched, was it Rock Hudson? No, was it Rock Hudson? Who was the one? It was Rock Hudson.
Yeah, because I think you were telling me about that because then I watched it.
Honey. And he was out here assaulting men. He was sexually assaulting men.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Hollywood is full of predators.
Yep.
Harvey Weinstein been assaulting women
Mm-hmm.
and nobody sitting there. Y'all want to be celebrities that bad.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
That's it right there.
That your self-respect or your dignity, there's no line.
Mm-mm. And then you have a fear of speaking out against it. It's just like the police. They don't want to speak out against what they know is wrong because they're afraid of backlash. They're afraid of being blackballed. They're afraid of people saying, "Oh, well, they're not." And then you wonder why people talk about y'all in cults and in the Illuminati and all this other stuff is because y'all act like this.
Girl,
It's a
that's
mess.
crazy.
It is.
That quite on the set. If you have not watched it, it is worth all 4 hours of your life.
Yeah, seriously.
Like seriously.
Yeah. Whew. Okay, so let's move on. Now you put this on here. Now we know about you put this on the agenda. Uh we'll start with Kate Middleton.
Okay. So as we all know, what is she? The princess of what? Or the Duchess
The
of
Duchess of oh shit. Well, is it Wales? I don't
something.
know. Something. Yeah.
I was gonna say Wales, but I think Princess of Wales was
That
Diana.
was Diana. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what is she? The Duchess of Wales?
I don't know.
I
Let me
think she
see.
might be.
Go ahead, I'm gonna look it up.
So
That's a damn shame, but we didn't got it. But anyway.
as we know now, everybody's been speculating. Oh, we haven't seen her. She had abdominal surgery. We think she didn't killed her. She done had a nervous breakdown. I mean, it was a mess.
Princess of Wales.
It's a mess.
She's the Princess of Wales. Yeah. So it's definitely a mess.
And only for her to have to publicly come out and tell you nosy bastards that she got cancer.
Right. I mean, come on now.
But y'all did the same shit to Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
And to the Secretary of Defense.
Yep.
That man can't have prostate cancer in peace. Without y'all, oh my God, he wasn't at the White House. He wasn't at the Pentagon. Who knew? Who was this? Well, what was the procedure?
Oh, he's in the hospital. Oh, why didn't he tell the president? Oh my
Why didn't he tell the
goodness.
president? He was in the hospital for 2 days and nobody knew. No. The man can't have prostate cancer.
No.
He got to come to the podium and all this speculating y'all did. He had prostate cancer.
Right.
I hate you, motherfuckers. I'm just gonna tell you. Because why?
Why?
What is it with y'all? Do you believe because somebody is a celebrity
Mm-hmm.
that you have the right? Like they don't have any privacy?
No.
That doesn't sound crazy to you?
No, it doesn't sound crazy to people.
That is like sick.
Mm-hmm.
And that is literally 3 people. So this is how I know y'all stupid. Because Chadwick Boseman had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And we would think after that man went to glory that when you see another celebrity get sick, you would say, well, maybe they have cancer.
No.
Not you dumb motherfuckers. No.
We got to know what's going on. We got to know the tea. Where you been, girl?
Y'all thought she had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Y'all said that she was dead and that they was hiding her body.
Listen.
I heard so much bullshit coming from y'all. When that man was up there and he was not on his post at the Department of Defense, Y'all had 27 speculations.
And none of them were right.
None of them was cancer. Now we
None.
just saw what happened to Chadwick Boseman. So round two, nobody thought cancer.
Mm-mm.
So Princess, did this Kate make three? And
Yeah.
you still didn't think cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all literally thought she was deceased and they had buried her.
That's it.
I mean, oh my Lord Jesus. I just don't know. Y'all getting dumber by the day.
Listen.
I mean, dumber with every breath you take, you getting stupider and stupider. And it is really disheartening. I saw a girl, she sent her child to the doctor with the child's father.
Mm-hmm.
And he called her and said, they got these questions on this paper, and I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I'm just gonna tell you one question. The first question says, do you or your child worry about where your next meal comes from?
Baby.
She said, we were just sitting there in silence. She said, I said, okay, what? What am I supposed to put?
Oh my.
What? She said, do you not know when you gonna eat? Yeah, I don't. So you put no with your dumb ass.
I mean, some people really need you to hold their hand and, write it out for them. I mean,
Comprehension is so low.
oh, it's lacking.
See, because what they say, they don't teach phonics anymore. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what blows my mind. It's like I say this periodically to my teacher friends, my principal friends. We have these conversations. I said, so do you think kids know that like what a what is it, triceratops
Mm-hmm.
and a tricycle have in common? Do you think kids know? She's like, no, because we don't teach like we don't teach anymore that try is three.
Mm.
They don't know that bi is two. Like they don't teach that. We just teach the word tricycle.
Mm-hmm.
We show you the picture. We teach you bicycle and we show you the picture.
Right.
That is devastating.
It's sad.
So that's why y'all fail tests. Because if you know that try is three, at least when you go take the test and they show, because remember we used to take the math proficiency test.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just not making this word up, but it used to be like a tridecahedron or something.
Some crazy stuff, yeah.
But it was like three things that were connected.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't know like you didn't know by looking at it, you knew that tri meant three and everything else had four parts or two parts.
Right.
So you knew, oh, it's this one because this one has three. They don't know that anymore.
Mm-mm.
That's scary. That's very scary
Whew.
to me.
It is.
They don't know. To know that they are just walking out in the world with no comprehension. Lord Jesus. Lord
I
Jesus.
feel bad.
Shit, what I say before, we need to feel bad for each other. 'Cause they're gonna be working in the bank where you gotta go get your money out.
Okay.
That's what you need to be worried about.
Child, listen.
Girl. What's on the agenda?
Girl, so let's lighten it up a little bit. So, okay. I just saw this morning.
Uh-huh.
Real Housewives of Potomac news.
Mm. Girl, I know what you're about to say.
Yep. So far, Candace Dillard, she said, I'm out. She's leaving. She announced it.
Really?
Yeah.
Show me three people who gave a fuck. Girl,
I
go
mean, that
on.
part right there.
Her little
So,
mousy ass. I used to
yeah.
like Candace too,
I did
but
too. I did too. Then she wanted to be, be, what you call the bad bitch on there.
because
She
listen,
wanted to
I
be,
was ready for her to be Monica. Was her name Monique?
was it Monique? Yeah, the one else. Yeah, Monique and Chris.
Honey,
I
I
always
was
remember their
ready for
names
her and
together.
Monique to fight. Because I was sick of Monique.
Girl, listen.
She just had an abrasive attitude, like even towards her husband.
Yeah, that's why they're not together no more.
Yes, like she
Mm-hmm.
just, baby, she whispered so much disrespectful stuff about his mama.
Child, and you don't do that. I mean, come on now. That's why they ain't together now.
Baby, you can't talk about them boys and their mama.
Hell no. What's wrong with you?
Bye, Candace. Girl, I thought you was gonna say something about Karen's DUI. I was
Oh
gonna say,
no, we can
oh,
talk about that too. But also, before we get into Karen, Robin Dixon said that she's considering leaving. It hasn't been
go ahead.
officially announced. So yeah, the both of y'all, I mean, I haven't even watched one episode this season. So I don't even give a shit.
Me,
But for those of you who watch it, there you go. Candace is out. Robin's questionable. She's considering it, which I think when she starts looking at her finances, she'll be back.
wait a minute.
If
Did
they
her
have
and
her.
Ron get married?
Did they get married? I think they did get married. I think they finally did get married. What was it, like last summer or something like that? It was before the season started. I know that. So
I don't think so because Karen was cracking on her this season still. I seen some clips
I thought they
that
did get
Karen
married,
was
like they
still
had a
saying something about
destination.
her wedding, wasn't she?
Well, I thought they had a destination wedding. I could have sworn maybe I don't need that shows how much we give a shit. But
They need
I mean, the
yes, they
Grand
need to get the fuck
Dame,
out of here.
you know what I mean. But yeah, so let's talk about the Grand Dame as a matter of fact. So Miss Karen Huger is out here rolling over the kids and everything with DUIs and child.
Was she in her Maserati?
I don't know what
She
car it
flipped it.
was.
It was a Maserati. They said
Child.
she flipped, and she hit the middle, like hit the median. She told that motherfucker up.
Karen.
I mean, Karen. I respect my elders, so what I'm about to say is not no shade, but she is like that auntie that be trying to feed with the young girls.
Right.
My old school, my work husband. This what he say. Don't nobody want to see your old ass knees. he's gonna be 66, and he will tell you in a minute. He call women like that old ass hammers. He don't call you no B word.
Okay.
Old ass hammer. Like, don't nobody want to see your old ass knees. That's his. But do women know that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Because I don't care how good you think your body looks
Mm-hmm.
as an older woman. There are some parts of us as we age
Mm-hmm.
that are going to tell on you.
Right. And I mean,
Your knees being one of them, your hands,
your neck.
your neck. And unless you've had plastic surgery, it's normally going to be your eyes or your smile lines around your mouth.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, and let's keep it real. I mean, and this is no shade, it's just the truth. When you have a husband that is looking like Father Time and you're trying to keep yourself up to compete with these younger girls, I mean,
but why?
nobody can tell you shit.
I mean, I just think he would respect you. So maybe she knows her husband likes young girls.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
And maybe she's doing this. So what's so funny is now that we know this, remember Giselle always said, please, Ray will drop you in a hot second for Erica.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time Ray come around, they talking about Kevin Lyle's wife.
Yep. Girl.
Hey.
Listen.
Hey. That shit just tickled me. It just popped in my head.
Y'all can not like Giselle if you want to, but Giselle's always going to have a place in my heart because she's a Hampton alum, for one. And two, Giselle is shady as hell. She's just going to say it, and it's going to be what it is.
And now her reads are not always the best because she is still kind of bougie now.
Oh, of course, yeah.
She's still very much classy in her way.
Yeah, but she's going to tell the truth.
Yeah, but baby, that was the first lady. She still got that nice nastiness to her.
Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what it is.
Because she's going to say it.
Okay.
That's how I know Jamal ain't got the sense God gave a dog.
Listen.
I remember when they got a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about gave up all hope on mankind?
Listen.
It was when they got a divorce.
Yeah.
Because that woman is gorgeous.
Yeah. And not only just educated, just, smart, business smart, savvy. The people at the church, like from what I understand, the people at the church loved her.
Loved her. I will never forget when they got a divorce and
Mm-hmm.
she came back. Like, I don't know what it was for, if he
Mm-hmm.
was having something, but she came back, baby. They gave her a standing ovation. Like, they was
Mm-hmm.
glad to see her.
Yeah.
And that's when he was still in Baltimore. Like, they was
Yeah.
glad to see her.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever people may think about her from being on TV, honey, the parishioners loved her.
Yeah.
Oh, child. She just was married to a dog
That's
ass
it.
nigga.
That's it.
He was a dog.
Girl.
Mm, mm, mm.
So let's talk about this. So you sent me something the other day, and I just cracked up because I just found out about it, about these androsexuals.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, I'm a part of the rainbow,
Okay.
and, I don't really like a lot of y'all, but I mean, it is what it is. I am who I am.
So I saw a clip that blew my mind.
Yeah, go ahead, tell
And
them.
anytime it has anything to do with rainbow life activity, I said, damn, what's going on here? I ain't know nothing about this.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, okay, nah, one of us might have to say it. Okay, basically, they are making sexual attachment devices.
Yeah.
See, I think I worded that pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
And you can get them made in your skin tone, like to basically look like you.
Yeah.
And she said that she gets one made with every partner, basically. Like, the partner can go to the store, they pick it out, you pick the size. Like, you pick they pick everything.
Ciao.
Girl, when they start doing this.
Listen, let me tell you what it started with. But the thing is that this was a female, we'll just say a butch stud lesbian, whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And she was getting ready to, have some fun with was it a trans woman or a
No, that's so I don't know, but he's a guy. Like,
he's a guy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he identifies like as a woman.
Okay,
no.
so he was like, yeah, so he's a guy, and then that's a whole nother thing. So the trans, we're going to take them out of
And
it.
I feel like he said he's a bottom.
Okay, so here we
Yeah,
go.
he said that. He said that.
Yeah, so I just found this out maybe just a few weeks ago that there is a new speck on the rainbow and it's not the A, because you got all these dang alphabet letters.
Right.
It's not the A, because this is something new, but they're called androsexuals. And I had to look this up. So what it is feminine dudes, or as we in the community call them, butch queens.
Okay.
And they date masculine presenting women. So, and it's because of an attraction. They're attracted to anything that is masculine. So if it's a stud woman, a butch woman, a man,
So what am I
who's
about to say?
yeah.
Read my mind. What am I about to say? Now I understand. But what did this make you heterosexual?
I mean, let's just talk about it and the reason why I saw this was because there was a couple that somebody posted, and of course they were being shady when they posted it, but it was a stud woman. There was a black couple, stud woman, and so she looked like the dude and he looked like the girl, and it was a femme butch queen guy.
Okay.
And they were a couple. And they were in love, and they were talking about marriage and everything like that. And I'm just sitting here like, wait a minute. Like, as long as I've been in the life, I have now I've seen, gay men and gay women get together. Because it's just like I always say it. You can think what you want to, but sexuality is fluid with some people. Some people, are just attracted to what they're attracted to. There is a such thing as bisexuality. I mean, hello, right here. So it's just like there is a such thing as it. You can be attracted to both sexes. But this really confused me. Because like you said, and I don't mean any disrespect.
Right. No disrespect.
No disrespect at all. But this is just something that we just learned about, and it was just so weird because it's just like you want to have this classification. because y'all are still presenting as a gay woman and a gay man, but y'all are a heterosexual couple. So why can't you just say that? What is wrong with just saying that you're a heterosexual couple? What is wrong with that? Why do you have to be an androsexual? Now, I guess the androsexual is the attraction part. Okay, I get that. But but you won't say that you're a heterosexual couple when you're together. Now, if you go back and the butch queen goes back and dates a man, and and the stud lesbian goes back and dates a woman, whatever, then it is what it is. But that's when y'all hit the bisexuality part. But it's just like, why
But
can't y'all
baby,
just be
that's hetero all day.
all day long? I don't care how you present
I don't
yourself.
care what kind of props y'all use. I don't care what you do. That's heterosexual.
Thank
Because
you.
listen, it's heterosexual people using props too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
it makes you no different than them. Like,
None. Girl, yeah, so that just, and it was just funny when you sent me that. I started cracking up because I was like, I just found out about this. We got to talk about it.
yeah, like I was like speechless.
Yeah, it's a real thing. And they go out, like you said, they go out and they get props and, and like, hey, this one, I mean, she's getting stuff to match her skin tone. So she's really into it. And
Yeah,
then not only that, she gets a new one with every partner, which I
with
guess
every
is safe
partner.
sex,
And
okay.
lets them pick.
Yeah.
Like as far as like
The
size,
size
like
and
you
everything.
get to pick what you want.
Girl. Okay, so she responsible. Okay. So I mean, hey, do
Uh,
what you do, but you're heterosexual. When you're in
all
that
day, all day.
and you're talking about marriage and everything, come on now. I mean, let's,
Oh yeah, all day.
and I'm just talking about that couple that I saw, online. They may
Right.
not be together today. You never know. You know how the girls do, but I'm just saying, so, and they look young. So, that's another thing, where you had to put that into perspective. It's just like, are you experimenting or this who you are?
Oh Lord,
But that's a whole nother topic
I
for a
don't
whole
even know
nother day. But
who they are no more.
they don't. The people don't.
Especially not the young people. I just
No. And and I was watching the YouTube video, Spiller Boy TV. I love him. Some people may also know him as Treasure Lane. His real name is James Caldwell. He's a
mm,
professional drag queen in Pittsburgh, but he has a YouTube channel. He does like talks about everything. He
mhm.
reads people down, whatever. But he had a topic the other day where he was just having an open forum and just talking about, the certain things. And and he was just like, you know, there are certain people who, just they do what they do. I mean, let's just yeah. So it's just like, you just had to kind of just go with it, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
It's just like you may not agree with it. There are things that I don't agree with everything, that
oh yeah.
people do, whatever, but we're in a different time. And this is basically what he was saying about people experimenting. He said people get upset about, these younger kids, like let's say even middle school and high school age kids that are experimenting with the same sex. And it's not saying that it didn't happen back in the day, but
Mhm.
now it's more prevalent. You see girls taking girls to prom and boys taking boys to prom. You see that. You see these couples being who they are out and open because it is more acceptable now on a
Mhm.
broader aspect. But he said because of what they're exposed to and because of the freeness and everything of it more, they're just doing what people were doing in college. Granted, we were older, like
Right.
I mean, but you
I
had
think that's the biggest argument from the conservative.
oh yeah.
I don't think that they're blinded by the fact that they know eventually you're going to make the choice for yourself.
Mhm.
They're just saying, let's wait until you're 18.
Mhm.
Like, I, I'm a person who believes this as well. I
Mhm.
don't think it's as much as we see children's brains changing,
Right.
just from the psychology of it, not
Mhm.
thinking about anything else, just from the psychology of a child's brain
Mhm.
making changes and truthfully not really being fully developed until you're like 25.
Mhm. But let me say this, but what if that's who you truly are? It's
that's
just like
fine.
it's
Then you're
just like
gonna
a
still
straight
know you're that person
yeah.
at 18.
Right. Because I think that's where the I think because people still believe that because more people are experimenting and open with it, and you hear about these androsexuals and everything like that, these new letters that are popping up on the alphabet mafia and everything. You hear about all that. So people aren't taking it as serious. They're still feeling like it's a choice.
And what I'm saying is, it's like from the child aspect.
Yeah. Now I can
If
understand the
if I
trans
believe
thing.
if you believe it's a choice or not,
Mm-hmm.
all parents, and I think all the conservative side is saying, make the choice at 18. If
Mm-hmm.
you still feel this is who you want to be, and if you're really saying deep down inside, I was born this way, I believe this is who I am, this is my truth, I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking in my truth. If it's your truth at 9, it's going to be your truth at 18.
Mm-hmm.
That, but I think that's fair to say, because we're going around saying it's okay for children at 9 and 10 and 11 to make such adult choices.
Mm-hmm.
I just, that feels, it feels irresponsible. It
Yeah.
feels very irresponsible. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about, uh, it
The
just,
thing
it
about it,
feels very irresponsible.
regardless of what age, and I get it, I get what you're saying. Regardless of what age you are, you're going to know who you are. But the thing
Exactly.
is, you have to be mentally. There are people who are our age and older who are still struggling with who they are.
Thank you.
So you have to be a little bit more mentally stable. I
Now,
get
what
that
I would
part.
say is this: if you have a child who is telling you at 9, this
Mm-hmm.
is me, this is who I am, this is what I want to do. Okay, well, let's go to therapy.
Right. Let's.
Not
Yeah.
therapy to try to get you to sway your decision,
Yeah. No, I get it.
but therapy to work through your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so somebody who can professionally talk to you
Right.
about what is it exactly that you're feeling,
Mm-hmm.
because let's not act like we don't have situations where I know for a fact girls have gravitated to other girls
Mm-hmm.
because boys are cruel as hell when we're in middle school and high school.
Mm-hmm.
Boys are hateful. Boys will call you every name under the sun. And when
Mm-hmm.
you see that boys are not attracted to you, you gravitate to, oh, I have a best friend. Oh, she's so nice to me. She's so kind. She's so this, she's so that. Now you don't fell in love with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because who else is being kind to you? Who
Right.
else is showing you that attention? Well, at the age when you're 12 and 13 and 14, your hormones are developing,
Mm-hmm.
you have dr- grown an attachment to a girl because
Right.
the girl is the only person who's being nice to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to necessarily say you didn't have an attraction to boys in the beginning, but
Right.
boys became so hateful and cruel towards you, you wanted nothing to do with them. We
Mm-hmm.
see that happen all the time.
Oh yeah.
I just think we, what really disturbs me, we have gotten away from kids just being kids, just watching regular cartoons, just watching regular situations on the
Mm-hmm.
playground,
Yep.
just watching every, like an agenda has slipped into everything.
Oh yeah.
When cartoons used to be about learning and teaching you lessons of being kind to people,
Mm-hmm.
that's what the focus of cartoons were.
Yeah.
Like, it was always some type of learning activity in there, trying to teach you some historical fact,
Mm-hmm.
trying to teach you, how to treat people right, treat your neighbors right, be kind to the kid that's getting bullied. These were all the messages that cartoons had. And now we've gotten away from that, and we're pushing agendas about sexuality and
Mm-hmm.
political statements and kids' cartoons.
Yeah. It's it's
It's
it's
too
bad.
much.
Yeah.
That's probably why people don't even make cartoons no more.
Right.
Because that's why you can
Listen.
barely find them.
Yeah. You gotta, girl, trust me,
Because
you gotta dig deep to find them cartoons nowadays, honey.
listen, it's really, I really feel bad for
I
kids
do
because
too. I do too. Yeah, I really do. And especially, growing, like, I was about to say growing up with them, but seeing these, my nieces and nephew grow up and just seeing, how different it is for them and the things that they do and the things that they talk about and stuff like that. It's just like, damn, it's just like you really feel bad for them. Like, y'all truly, like, we try to really have them have a childhood. And I don't know
Right.
if I'm saying that right, but we
No,
want
you're
them to
right.
have a childhood, but it's hard.
It's hard.
It's even hard when you're trying.
Yeah. It's hard because you send them out into the world with
Mm-hmm.
other people's kids, and whatever's going on in that kid's house. That's why Nana was always really particular about not letting Sade go over everybody's house,
Right.
because listen. I don't know if I've ever told this story, but my mama, as we all know, was a partier.
Mm-hmm.
She hit the club to the floor, like tore it down.
Yes.
Papa Jack, Club Touches. Look, she used to drive here to Dayton to Spunky's. Like, she tore the club up.
Yeah.
My mother,
Oh, you
I used
said
to be really good
touches. I
friends with
forgot all about
Shara.
that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had a flashback. Go ahead.
I used to be really good friends with Shara
Mm-hmm.
when we were in high school.
Right.
Now, mind you, she came from the holiest household on the block.
Listen. Okay.
I mean, couldn't wear pants, like wore
Mm-mm.
skirts, like they was about
Apostolic.
that
Yeah,
life.
they were like, apostolic down.
Listen, so Sharon wanted me to come over her house to spend the night.
Mm-hmm.
The club papa told Sharon mama, no, my daughter can't come over there.
Mm-hmm.
You got a son? No, my daughter can't come over your house. Now
Right.
your daughter is welcome to come over here,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be just the girls, and we'll order pizza and they can hang out. She said, but my daughter's not coming over there.
Right.
And I thought, little gangster.
Yeah. Like, since when you get all
But guess what? Cher's mama, the holy roller, and I love their mama.
Yeah.
She let Cher come
Mm-hmm.
with no problem, multiple times.
Yeah. Because she wasn't thinking that way, because that's, her son. You know what I mean? So she wasn't
And
thinking
no, and
about
I
it
think
that
she
way.
let her come too, because she was like,
Mm-hmm.
she's serious.
Yeah, yeah. Like, wait a minute. Like, oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like, she's not playing about her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like parents need to, like be more protective.
Right.
And it's hard, because you can't control what's going on in everybody else's house.
Mm-hmm.
But you can control what goes on in your house.
Right.
But yeah, Nana was like,
Okay.
she can't go.
No. And we're the
She
same
can't
way.
go.
Yeah. No. You ain't going where? And just like my youngest niece and nephew, like well, they're not the youngest now, but my nephew, he's 6, and my niece, she just turned 8 this past week. But at the time they were 7 and 6 when they moved into their new house. And the two of them shared a room because their mom wanted my oldest niece, who she just turned 14 the other day, but at the time she was 13, she wanted her to have her own room, her own space.
Right.
But then she thought about it and she was like, wait a minute. She was like, even though I trust my son and daughter, I still don't think that a girl and a boy should be sharing a room, especially at that age. So
That's
now
right.
he has his own room, and she just had to bunk up with with her older sister, and she didn't like it, but it's just like it just has to be like that. You have to think like that, even though you don't want to think like that. You have to,
And
because
that's but I don't know how people are now. Like you said, kids so different and experimental now.
Yeah.
But my mother and her brother had their own rooms, and they would steal. One would go in the other one's room.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care if they would sleep on the floor, and he would sleep at the foot of her bed, but they couldn't. Nana said I would have to go in there all the time. Like,
that's how me and Brandon were. Yeah, we had our own rooms,
she said
but
you would just hear him laughing,
yeah,
giggling, and she like, go to bed,
right. Yeah.
So then they get quiet. Because I think, what's their age difference? He's 3 years younger than she is.
Okay, yeah. Brandon and I are 4 years apart, so yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but
yep, he would always sneak in my room. Yeah, we'd be watching TV, and he brings some popcorn up or something. We'd be watching a movie until we fell asleep. He'd be on the floor, and I'd be in my bed, or whatever. And that's just how it is. I mean, you're going to have. It's good that you had that connection, but you still need to have your own space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just, like I said, I don't always want, LGBTQ people to feel like it's an attack on them. But
Right.
I just, like I'm pretty open about I don't agree with what Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union did to their son. I don't agree with that.
Right.
I
And
don't agree with no kids going to Pride.
well, I don't think
People
anything's wrong with that.
be naked out there. Yes, it is something wrong
Well,
with it.
now they do. Now it's off the hook. Back in the day, it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
But
back
yeah,
in the
so
day, it
yeah,
was
but
more
but I don't
like,
go anymore. And that's one of the reasons why I don't go with my grown old ass. Because it's just like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't go anymore because it's too much.
And yeah, we're not talking about the Pride back, when
Yeah, I
we was
got
in
you.
our
I'm
20s,
with you. Yeah, because I
I'm talking
totally
about
agree with
Pride
that.
today.
That's why I
They
told you I
had
don't
that
really
little
like
boy
him.
down at Pride and he was 9.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And
And it's grown men that walking around out here with shorts on and they hoo-ha's is
right,
out. Mm-mm.
right.
That's
Yeah.
still a child. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
even if we're saying we're accepting this and this is the lifestyle and this, okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But why I gotta be out here where grown people is walking around half naked?
Right.
That's still a kid.
There are other events that you can take your
Thank you.
child to that,
See,
are
and this is
LGBT
where,
friendly.
and I think that's something for for them to clean up, for the LGBTQ to clean up
Mm-hmm.
in house,
Well, let me tell
because
you, because we
this is
talked
the
about,
thing that's given a bad name.
yeah.
It's not because when you walk around at a parade like that,
Mm-hmm.
even though you don't want people to perceive it as just being about sex or being completely about sex.
Mm-hmm.
But when people see things like that, you don't want that's what they're attaching to it
Right.
basically.
Yeah, and that's
That
the
is
thing.
the image and the view that you're giving them is like, oh, we want to walk around outside naked.
Mm-hmm. And see, and that was one of the big issues that a lot of people were having, especially like a lot of the older community. They were like, wait a minute, we
We're
still
trying to
want
be
to
taken serious. We didn't walk and
exactly.
march and fight for y'all to be having y'all schlongs out.
Right. But the thing is, like, you have people who are in charge of, pride and everything like that, like Stonewall and all this other stuff. They don't want to toe that line. They don't want to be like, well, we preach, openness and all this other stuff, so we can't ban this, but just a few years
Then
ago,
why is openness nakedness?
exactly.
Somebody, and I say this even to the heterosexual community.
Mm-hmm.
What about us has changed so much that being naked in public is so important?
Right.
I'm just curious, like,
Mm-hmm.
what stand are we, what fight are we fighting
Right.
to be naked in public?
Mm-hmm. That
What social change are we bringing that you being naked in public is going to move us forward as a people, as a culture?
mm-hmm. And see, and the thing is, like, they'll preach that this is family friendly, but then when you complain that your kids are there and they, you don't want your kids exposed to this, well, they shouldn't be there anyway. But this has always been a family friendly event.
Or they're going to tell you this is our bodies. I mean, you're
Mm.
catching nothing about the
Oh,
body
yeah.
should be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't,
Mm.
and then like I said, this is not even just about a homosexual thing. This
Mm-mm.
I
It
scream
happens
this
all over.
about heterosexual people.
Mm-hmm.
Why are y'all naked?
Right.
It's like, somebody please tell me where your clothes
Yeah,
are.
what is see? I ain't been to this one either in a long time. But what is that event we have that's like usually it's like the week after Pride
Confess.
Comp Fest? Yeah,
I
that
literally just told somebody about
I
this.
mean they go down there and they got titties out and everything like that, and and it's just like
Oh,
whatever got men got g strings on and whatever, and these are straight people. This isn't Pride. And, like you said, it's just
why?
like why this is supposed to be Comp
I
Fest,
just would
Community
like to
Fest.
know the line, the
Yeah.
connection between nakedness and social action.
Those of y'all who love
Like,
being naked in public, let us know.
yeah, like what is the, and don't come in here talking that body positivity shit.
Right, yeah, we're
Don't,
not on that.
don't do that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
You can be positive about your body in thousands of ways.
Exactly.
And it's your body. It's
Mhm.
precious. I really think that we have lost the love for
Yeah,
ourselves.
I mean, even their leader Lizzo is like, okay, I need to calm this down. I'm just
I'm
saying.
done. I don't know why you brought her up. I'm done. I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't like her.
I'm just
I just
saying.
don't. I just don't like her.
Yeah,
Let me tell y'all
is
something.
so damn
Tomorrow talk
talented.
about. I'm gonna give you 2 seconds of. I was watching, and y'all about to. Oh Lord, they about to crucify me for this shit. Oh my Lord. Being a plus size woman in a world that hates fat people,
Mm-hmm.
I just have a rule book tucked away that I don't really expose much. I don't give it out to people.
Right.
But two things on my rule book, two of the most important things. You cannot be the biggest person in the room and keep asking, oh, where the food at? I was talking about the food and got here.
Mm-hmm.
Rule number one, don't do that.
Yeah.
Rule number two, you cannot be the biggest person in the room and be loudest. You can't do that. Like, you cannot make yourself the spectacle
Right.
because people already see you. They already see you.
Yeah,
They
you're
already picking you apart.
and just yeah, and thank you because to most people you're already a joke just by the way you look.
The best thing you can do is be dressed to the motherfucking nines.
Mm-hmm. And sit there
That's
like a
one thing
lady
I
or a
always say.
gentleman.
You got to look good.
Mm-hmm.
Keep yourself looking nice. But you cannot come, and I think this is where y'all come with the body positivity. Yes, walk in your own skin.
Mm-hmm.
Be proud of who you are. I'm not saying let the fact that other people hate big people make you hate yourself. What I'm saying is the day you took your ass to that Laker game with your ass cheeks out, you violated. It was
Everybody.
inappropriate
Mm-hmm.
because we just talked about this is a family friendly environment.
Right.
See, we got to get back to stuff like that. When you go in public like that naked, where you know children are going to be,
Mm-hmm.
you have no respect for kids. And I don't fuck with people who don't have no respect for kids.
Exactly. Because that's a whole
I
different
don't like
issue.
her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was done after
That's
that.
wrong. You
Mm-hmm.
expose children to that.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I was already tired of her, but when she did that and then tried to double down on it, like everything was okay. No.
Do that shit at the club where it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
grown people at. But
Right.
y'all gotta start. But again, see, this is another thing. What I say, people, the judicial system don't respect kids. We actually don't respect children in this country
Mm-hmm.
because a prime example was Quiet on the Set. That man did all that disgusting stuff to that little boy, and he got 18 fucking
That's
months.
it. That's it.
We don't respect kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you know why we don't respect kids? Because people like Lizzo walk around naked, and instead of being responsible enough to say, oh, kids are here, I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Kids listen to this, I don't do that.
Right. And then
I don't even have certain conversations in front of my friends' kids.
no, heck no.
I get off the phone. Get back to respecting children. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why kids are so grown and out of control because we don't keep kids in kids' places.
Right.
We the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's us.
And I guarantee if somebody would have said something, complained about it right then and there, and they would have came to her and said, "Oh, you can't be in here like that or whatever," then it would have been fat shaming.
Oh, that's exactly what she would have said.
Mhm.
But baby, listen, I don't want to see nobody naked. When
No.
Rihanna went outside like that, when Sierra went outside with that black sheer, oh
You
y'all
saw
need some more.
areolas and everything. Ain't nobody trying to see all
And
that.
she was leaving the house dressed where her kids was at.
Yeah.
Like y'all just do weird shit in front of kids.
Mhm.
And it's just that's why we see people on TikTok and stuff now walking around the house in boy shorts with their booty cheeks hanging out with
Mhm.
sports bras on, walking around the house in front of their kids.
Yeah, like it ain't
Who
nothing.
told y'all that was okay?
My mom would have never. My
Girl,
stepdad would have never just walked around in his drawers. I
Ronnie
mean,
will
come on.
never take his shirt off in here.
Exactly.
Never. One
Listen.
time he was sick.
Mhm.
No, he wasn't sick. She had came in from like being gone. She was gone out. I think she came home at like midnight.
Mhm.
And she came into my room and was talking at the door. He didn't have no shirt on, but he was like face down. She
Right.
could see his back. She said, "Is he sick? Is something wrong?" Hey, she said, "Is he sick? Is something wrong with him?" And I looked, I was like, "Oh," he didn't know he was coming. She was like, "Oh," she
Right.
never seen him with his shirt on
He trying to cover
before.
himself, girl.
What's wrong with him? She said, "Is he sick? Is something wrong with him?" Hey, I looked over at him like, "Shit, is it?" I was like, "Oh, he didn't know he was like he didn't know he was coming."
Right. Trying to
That
cover
shit
up,
was
girl.
so
That
funny,
is
like, but that's what
funny.
I'm saying because she knows she ain't never seen him in that space. So it was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, like what's happening here?" Like,
Right.
yeah, y'all be just walking around. I done seen men on social media walking around in front of their kids with their boxers on. Y'all niggas out of control.
Mhm.
And y'all wonder why y'all's kids so sexualized.
Listen.
Baby, oh Father,
Whew.
we offer Christ to you. Oh my brother. Okay. Oh my sister, we offer Christ to you. Cause let me tell you something. It's wild out here,
It
man.
is. It is wild. It
It's
is very
wild.
ghetto. I'm telling you.
Oh,
Whew.
so ghetto. Well, all right then. I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a great week. And as always, you can reach us at girl underscore you know what, at Wellness in Women, and at DannieBSpeaks. Until next week, have a great week, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.